Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Tuesday, January 25th. I wasn't going to talk about this because, as I told you guys, sometimes I just get so sick and tired of talking about all of the anti-Semitism in the United States and in the world. And it gets exhausting because I'm Jewish and it's tiring and I'm fucking always standing up for us and nobody else is ever standing up for us. And you guys have heard me give the spiel before. And I don't want to just keep fucking beating a dead horse, but you have to keep beating the dead horse, I guess, if people are going to try to keep killing fucking other horses. So here's what happened. I'll tell you guys what happened. I'll tell you guys my thoughts. I'll tell you guys what I think you can do. And then we will move on to something else. Peter Dinklage talking about the Snow White movie and his thoughts on that, which we're going to listen to because Peter Dinklage gets to talk about whether it's appropriate or not that dwarfism is a huge part of Snow White and if that's offensive to him when their decision to remake the new movie, then he gets to fucking set the standard on that. And this is offensive what we're talking about now to the Jews, so I get to fucking talk about that. So I'll tell you guys what happened and then we can discuss it. Also, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. Super chat in, get in your questions, comments, concerns. It's going to be a tight show today. I got a meeting later, and I am still doing well this year, but this got me really fucking annoyed. This got me really fucking annoyed because how couldn't it? And you guys should be annoyed too. And I am sensing that not that many people know what I'm talking about, nor are they annoyed, which in itself is fucking annoying. So, yeah. We will go through all of that and more. Also, I'm seeing that my show did not get pushed out today. The more I talk about this stuff, the more followers I lose. And it's like, all right, I guess those are people that I don't want here. Anyway, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. That is this show. And appreciate you guys for being here. Let's see. Who, in fact, is here and why do I feel as if, can you see me? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yeah. Oh, it's unlisted. Why did I make an unlisted stream? Okay, we're going to fix that. How do I do it? Content going on the back end. Why was it unlisted? I have no idea. Definitely didn't mark that. Probably because I put RFK Jr. in the title and they were like, nah, this bitch can't talk about that. Okay, now we're public. Let's see if that helps or if that works. I don't see the show on your channel, just in Patreon. Well, there's a clear problem, Christian Harsty. Hi, Brittany Parker. Hi, everybody rolling in. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. I was just fucking venting about anti-Semitism. I will continue to talk about that. And yeah. All right. Now the people are coming. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining on this Tuesday. Like I was telling nobody who was here because it was unlisted, we are going to be talking about what happened with RFK Jr. and also about the new Snow White movie and Peter Dinklage's thoughts on that. Every time I say Dinklage, I think Dinklage, Peter Dinklage. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, let's get into the RFK Jr. thing. Here's what happened. RFK Jr., who is obviously a Kennedy, and that is what he is most famous for being, in a famous family. But recently, he has been extremely vocal, and for a long time, he's been very vocal about being anti-vax. He's an anti-vaxxer, and he is somebody who's been an anti-vaxxer since before the COVID bout. He was an anti-vaxxer when it came to vaccines because he was one of the people who believes that they cause autism, which is not the fucking truth. And I learned this on The View today, which was interesting, and then looked it up, that the studies that came out that autism was linked to vaccines were because came out from a doctor who lost their medical license because he released inaccurate studies after he was creating a competitor vaccine and trying to get the vaccine that people were getting to be scarier to people so his vaccine would do better. So that's just fucking ridiculous, but okay. Anyway, can you guys hear me? Are you guys here? Thanks for being here if you are. So he's been an anti-vaxxer for a while, which makes him a dipshit and a twat. And those things are bad to be. But now he said some very anti-Semitic things that I don't even know that he would qualify as anti-Semitic, but clearly are anti-Semitic. And the main reason I decided to talk about this today was because I was very frustrated when I went to the media and there were no Jews that were on shows about this. I was watching I was watching the CNN and Forbes and Hollywood Reporter and The View, and was going all over listening to people talk about RFK Jr.'s speech, where I'll read you guys what he said, but nobody's talking to Jewish people, and it's like, why are Jews consistent when we're talking about Muslim issues? We talk to Muslim people. And that is newer because we didn't used to, and that was fucked up. But now when I hear Muslim stories, I hear Muslim people on the news, or I see Muslim people on the news. Same thing with people of different religions and ethnicities. When we're talking about all of the Asian hate that has been going on, which is fucking disgusting. When people are doing news stories on this, they bring Asian people on to discuss it. Same thing with Black related stories. I always am seeing this in the news. And consistently, when we are talking about Jewish related stories, it's so often that they don't bring on any Jews. And I'm like, why are you going to, this is your segment. You're not going to have a Jew anywhere nearby to talk about it. There's no Jews that you could bring onto your show to discuss why this is so fucking offensive to us. I think that that's ludicrous. So then when I saw that, I was like, okay, so Roxy, you don't get the luxury of not talking about this on your show because you are Jewish. And if you're going to say that you hate that Jews are not going out and talking about this, mostly probably because they're fucking scared, and also networks aren't doing their job, then you have to actually speak about this. So here's what took place. RFK Jr. was who, as I just said, is an anti-vaxxer. He made these comments during a rally against vaccines that had a couple thousand people at it. Apparently they thought that 20,000 people were going to come. Only a couple thousand people came, and by the time that he was speaking, only a few hundred people were there. But this is what he said during his speech, which you can watch online. He said that even he was relating the vaccinations today to the Holocaust, and he said, even in Hitler's Germany, you could cross the Alps to Switzerland. You could hide in an attic like Anne Frank did. Let's just pause there for a second, because he then goes into how he went to Germany and spoke to people who had jumped the wall and that it was doable, hard, but doable. Let's talk about this part of it for a second. First of all, you could, even in Hitler's Germany, if you have to start a sentence with, even in Hitler's Germany, how are you going to continue that sentence? Like, that's going to be a sentence that really comes out of your mouth, whatever the rest of that sentence is. You're going to start with, even in Hitler's Germany, and think that whatever you're going to say next is okay. All right. You could cross the Alps to Switzerland. So if that's where he's saying Anne Frank was, she wasn't found in Germany, but okay, so even historically, that doesn't make sense. But then he says you could hide in an attic like Anne Frank did. Just as a brief reminder for everybody, and if you're here, I'm guessing that you probably know this, but Anne Frank did hide in an attic. She hid in an attic for 2 years with her family. And then she was found and stripped from the attic and put into a concentration camp where she was killed from being in the concentration camp. So What kind of a fucking example is that? You you picked somebody who and let's be honest here. Let's call it out. You are born Jewish. I'm not talking about people converting to the religion. The people who were killed in the Holocaust were Jewish. Now, people are always saying that many Jews are white passing, and while there is a lot of luxury with being white passing as a Jew, which not all Jews are, but some Jews are, if they want to find out that you're Jewish, it is in your blood. You cannot deny if you are Jewish or not. If you are ethnically Jewish, that is something that is found out. So that is not a choice. You are not choosing to be Jewish. Anne Frank did not choose to be Jewish. From what we read, she was proud of being Jewish, as am I, but I was born a Jew. In my blood, I am an Ashkenazi Jew. That is my ethnicity. So you're comparing the decision to not get vaccinated to the birth of being a Jew. One of those things, and I will discuss the choice in a second, but one of those things is a choice. As an adult, you are seeing the science, you are seeing the rhetoric, you are seeing whatever, and you are deciding whether or not you would like to get vaccinated. Now, to me, it's not much of a fucking decision because you're either smart or stupid, but it's still a choice. In this country, we have not said every person needs to get vaccinated. On this planet, we have not said that. It is a choice to get vaccinated. And with that choice comes repercussions, as any choice in life does, right? If I choose to buy a car, then I don't have money to buy something else. If you choose not to get vaccinated, then there are places that will not let you in, or people who do not want to associate with you because of the choice that you made, as it is a choice. To be a Jew in Eastern Europe in the 1940s was not a choice. It is something you are born with. If it was a choice, people probably would have fucking just lied. Not because they weren't proud, but many people because they don't want to get murdered for the way they were born, the ethnicity they were born into. And so Anne Frank, who was born a Jew, who was a fucking child, a Jewish child, hid in an attic for 2 years to try to avoid getting gassed alive. She hid in a fucking attic. I've been there. I went there. It was one of the saddest days of my fucking life. And anybody who's been there knows it was fucking tiny. 2 years in there with multiple people. I cannot imagine. Right now, is there a place where if you do not get vaccinated, you are stuck to no food, barely enough air to survive, can't make a fucking sound for 2 years? 2 fucking years. As long as we've been in COVID, longer, she was in fucking hiding. Yet we're allowed to walk around. We're allowed to eat food. We're allowed to do everything we want to do. And if we get vaccinated, we're allowed to fucking do more. But there was no fucking vaccine to get rid of being fucking Jewish by ethnicity. So she hid for 2 years. And then RFK Jr. must forget the part of the story that she was found, she was discovered, she was ripped from the attic in which she hid, she was brought to a concentration camp where she fucking died only, I think, like 10 days before everybody was freed. So in what world are we gonna, now rereading this, in what world are we gonna make a remark like, even in Hitler's Germany, you could cross the Alps to Switzerland, you could hide in an attic like Anne Frank did? How, he says, the mechanisms are being put in place that will make it so none of us can run and none of us can hide. Who's chasing you? Who's chasing you? None of you can hide. I hope you hide. I hope the non-vaccinated people, we all hope, we're trying to get you to hide. We're saying non-vaccinated people stay at home. We're not saying you shouldn't hide. We are saying just keep to yourselves in your fucking houses. Because your existence means that other people's existence could cease to exist because you are unvaccinated and therefore could get other people sick. As opposed to Jews who are born Jewish and then just are outside living as a Jew. You're just fucking living life. You're living life as a Jew and not harming anybody. The Jews couldn't hide. The unvaccinated people, if you guys want to hide, if you guys want to run and all go and be on a fucking island together, snaps. So this happened 2 days ago. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Thousands of people rallying behind this. A massive family name like a Kennedy saying this. And people are not talking about it. And I posted about it last night finally because enough was fucking enough. And the majority of you guys, which I feel bad about, the first time you heard about the story was from my tweet. Because you're not getting the information on what's happening with Jews in America and in the world. It's just not fucking talked about the same way. And yes, there was a little coverage on The View, finally. And yes, there was a little coverage on CNN. But are you seeing this tweeted about? Are you seeing this people outraged by this like we do for so many other things? No. And it's just fucking outrageous. Even the top of the interview, and I'll tell you guys what I'm talking about. And it's not about this particular person, but this is what I am talking about. Listen to the first thing that the CNN, this is what the first thing CNN had to say about it. They're talking about the story I just talked about and the way they introduce it. Let's see if you guys catch this. Hold on.
Very bizarre anti-vaccine rally in Washington today. Just strange stuff happening here in Washington, strange things afoot. Here's RFK Jr., the son of the former Attorney General. He's an anti-vaxxer making some incredibly offensive comments earlier today.
Okay, so finally he gets to incredibly offensive. He calls it strange and bizarre stuff. The first two things he says about it are that it's strange and bizarre. Did the story I just say to you guys sound strange and bizarre? Or did it sound anti-Semitic and hateful? Did it sound dangerous and wrong? Did it sound like lies? Or did it sound strange and bizarre? Did it sound strange and bizarre? Because that's what people were saying. Wow, that is strange. That's bizarre. And then even afterwards, he says, I think something's wrong with this guy. Is something wrong with him? Or is he spewing hatred and anti-Semitism? It's strange and bizarre. I think something's wrong with him. That's what we're going to chalk it up to. Something's wrong with him. It's not the right words. And again, I'm not saying that this guy is the problem, but not having a Jew on your fucking station or not having a Jewish person to talk about this, because it affects each one of us. Because I'm white passing until I'm not. It's just fucking frustrating. So anyway, thank you for listening to me talk about this. I tweeted it out. I got some really fucking horrible tweets back. I deleted some of them. Some of them I kept just to look at to tell you guys about. But, one of the responses to me, Jeremy Piper responds and says, "What about the people in New York City? They're getting arrested for not having a vaccine card on. And the people in Australia being put in COVID camps because they have the virus." Yes, that sounds the same as the Holocaust. Yes, for sure. Yeah. The same as gassing and mass murdering 6 million people. That sounds like when people have COVID, not letting them interact with other people because the virus is killing people. One of these things is a virus. One of these things is an ethnicity. Are we saying that being Jewish is the same as being a virus? Is that what they're fucking trying to say? And then we want to claim that this country doesn't have a problem with anti-Semitism. Fucking ridiculous. So that. Let me go to you guys. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Questions, comments, concerns. Before I get out of here, I do want to talk about Peter Dinklage as well. And then we will go for the day. Because even though, like I said, I'm well, this has me really fucking peeved and just really fucking peeved. The 25th of January, coming in first from, let's see what's going on. Wow, at 5 in the morning almost, Christian Hardesty with that massive support. Thanks, Christian. Watching yesterday's Live with Roxy and mentioned support if you like me, so here you go. I will take it. On behalf of me and all of the me's, you are so supportive and so fucking great, and I appreciate that. He also loved the first recording of Bitch Out of Water. Really appreciated detailing her story. I thought she did such an incredible job. That's on the World Girls Patreon. Dee really, it was beautiful. I cried and I laughed and it was awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Lloyd Nance in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. He just gave some support and I appreciate it. Glenn Caesar said hello and good Tuesday, Roxy. Well wishes. And thank you for hanging out. Great job on SEN Live today. That was my last show on the Twitch. 252 patrons. Peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you, your dad, Jet Sky, Grammy Papo, and your family. Be most excellent to yourselves and each other. Bunnies to Avery Burke and Avery's mom. Rest in peace, Chris Burke. 3 rock stars. Way to go, Smets, and everyone is still fighting to smash cancer. Stand against Islamophobia. Absolutely. I stand against Asian hate. Absolutely. Stand against or stop AAPI hate. Absolutely. I know that Black Lives Matter. Absolutely. And I stand against anti-Semitism. Thank you for those words today, Glenn. He also says, maybe me imagine golden sparkles of love flowing into us, especially our chests and throats as we breathe in and breathe out all the yucky energies. Hope lots of yellow sparkles and green sparkles fill us, Roxy and Rockstars, for happiness, joy, and healing. Thank you, Roxy and Rockstars, for listening to my words all the time and being such good friends to me. Thank you, everyone, for always battling no matter what your battle is. Thank you for showing up, being support for the people around you whenever, however you can. I hope you remember to say to yourself, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm fully unique. I'm good people. I'm worthy. My story is important, serves to be seen and heard. Being kind, caring, fully unique makes you worthy. A real life golden sparkle. Thank you, Glenn. John Lestrina family, he says, I just realized my dumb self has been still on holiday hours and opening the store an hour early each day. Oh my God. Way to go, me, robbing myself in an hour of peace each day, the things I do for my family. Listen, do you still get paid for those hours or no? Please tell me yes. That's tough. Jake Yakavetta says, I'm trying so fucking hard to not respond to that idiot on your tweet talking about Australia. I know nothing I will say can change their mind, but goddamn, it's so insane that people actually believe those things. I know, Jake. And the thing is, it's not one person, it's not 2 people, and it's hundreds of people, and it's not thousands of people. It is hundreds of thousands of people that believe this. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Holocaust deniers that don't even admit that the Holocaust fucking happened. And there's as many of that, if not more, of people who compare the vaccine to the Holocaust. Why did this become like the comparison? How is that the event we picked? It's like, compare it to the flu, like a virus. Compare it to other epidemics. You're going to compare it to the attempted extermination and successful partial extermination of an ethnic group? Why? Where? How? What? Just nuts. Fucking nuts. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Getting your last minute thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. This is an interesting story I saw about Peter Dinklage talking about Snow White and the announcement of a live action Snow White movie. Curious your thoughts on this. So, Snow White announced that they were doing a live action movie. And Peter Dinklage said, "Have I done nothing to advance the cause for my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough," after calling it a backward story of 7 dwarves living in a cage together. It was actually the first time, and this is my ignorance showing through, it was the first time I've ever thought about the 7 dwarfs being offensive. And I don't know how I missed the mark on this one, but of course that's offensive. Of course, her having like 7 dwarf all live in a cage together helpers that have nothing more than like a adjective for a name makes them feel like not real people. And obviously we know little people are real people in the same way that anybody of any height is a real person. Anybody with a beating heart is a person. So I never thought about that. And now with the live action remake, it's a little fucked up. I did see, though, that Disney said they responded and they said, "We're taking a different approach with these 7 characters. I've been consulting with members of the dwarfism community." And then there was announcements that they had previously been talking about this and that they're changing the dwarfs into magical creatures with VO, with voice actors, which I can't tell. And I need somebody from the dwarfism community to chime in if that makes it better or worse. Instead of just making them 7 different people, 7 different types of people, because we're saying that, are we saying that the dwarfs are replaceable by magical creatures? They're just people. So if they're people, why don't we do Snow White and her 7 friends? Snow White and her 7 buddies. Snow White and her 7 heroes, helpers, whatever. And make them all people, all different types. We're gonna turn the 7 dwarfs into magical creatures. I don't know about that, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is best. Maybe that is best. Peter Dinklage said, "You're progressive in one way because they're casting a Latina Snow White, from what I saw, which I don't even remember who it is, but I think I read that. You're progressive in one way, and you're still making that fucking backwards story." And I hear him. I hear him. I'm curious. I don't know what they should do. If they should just never remake this, or if they should remake this like the suggestion I gave, or if the magical creatures works for people. The people from the community are the people who get to should be at the table to make the decisions. And if you're consulting people from the dwarfism community and Peter Dinklage would like to talk about it, then he should get a seat at the table and be able to speak about it. So, yeah. Oh, it's West Side Story is the girl? Is Snow White? I didn't know. I thought it was, who did I think that it was? I thought it was the girl from, I thought they had said it was the girl from In the Heights. But what else did I just hear she was cast in? I don't remember. I think I just heard she was cast in something. Anyway, those are my thoughts. What do you guys think? getting out of here in the next 2 minutes. So send them in, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Questions, comments, concerns on RFK Jr., who, by the way, did, yes, as you're pointing out, apologize today. His wife, Cheryl Hines, Curb Your Enthusiasm star, was like, I don't necessarily agree with my husband. And then she was pressured on it more. And she said that his words were deplorable, which I appreciate. You are not your husband, but still, I know this sounds so fucked up and I'm not in their relationship, but I feel like I would fucking divorce somebody over that. Not because they said it out loud, but because they thought it. Like, if I knew that's how somebody thought, I could never be with them. I could never be with them. So, yeah. Oh, Leslie Grace is Batgirl. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, my friends, getting out of here. So thank you for listening and giving a shit like I know you do. A few more things coming through the Streamlabs. Getting them in now, get them in loud, get them in proud. Glenn says, I didn't ask earlier, but how are you, Roxy? I think I'm fine, but I have a sty in my eye. I didn't sleep. I was tweeting this out. I was reading on the story. So yeah, I had a long ass day yesterday, but I'm fine. Thank you. Hope you're doing and feeling good and are working on something. You the fucking best. You the fucking best. I hope you live in serenity and get to see and feel and perceive the yellow and green colored energies of happiness and joy manifesting day to day, today, tomorrow, and beyond. You're good people, inspiration, and a priceless treasure. Thanks, Roxy and Rockstars, for doing your best to shine or glow in your flow and each your days, your weeks, your months, and even your years. You've been there for us when the rain starts to fall. Thank you for being you, always and in always. Hashtag be an anomaly. Thanks, Glenn Caesar. My friends, stay safe, stay sane. Put down the toilet seat and lid. We want the plumes. Don't trend with the Holocaust. Brett Miles, Jonathan, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. All three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Make your bed if I didn't say that already. Tomorrow is our Vegas episode for Wednesday's IRL for the World Girls. So it's going to be Litty Titty City Committee. And I'm meeting with the World Girls at 1 to start taping more TikToks and social media. So I probably won't be here live, but you guys will see me there tomorrow night for the World Girls. And I'm back here live with Roxy on Thursday. Much love. Later. Definitely don't trend with the Holocaust, right? Come on.